Hello, I'm Marie-Thérèse Ross and I'm a sculptor. I initially studied painting, and actually when I went to art college to do foundation, I sort of thought I should do something where you'd have a job. And so my mum and I were quite keen on fashion. So I was sort of like, oh, maybe I'll go to fashion. And I think within 5 minutes of getting to foundation, I was like, I'm definitely not doing fashion. That is not me. And so I started orientating myself towards painting, not consciously, just that's something that I really enjoyed. And then when I did my BA in painting, my paintings became more and more 3D. So they were, I'd go to dump sites and pick out lovely rubbish and shove it onto my paintings. And so they were never rectangular or flat. And then when I graduated, I thought, really, I'm a sculptor. But I'm sort of been fighting it. For this exhibition, I was intrigued by the poetry of Dylan Thomas. He's very famous worldwide, and he is from here. And I thought, oh, Sarah, the curator, had asked me to do an installation. And she said, oh, I really like you to do big work. I don't have a big studio. So I was like, this will be fun. And I like the idea of having something to grip onto for an installation. I can't just say it's about me. Just be really boring. But I'd already started building this sculpture, and I had the idea that I wanted, so I'd built that head at the top ages ago, years ago, and I'd actually put it on a small pedestal and I'd painted it, and I just didn't like it. It was all wrong. So took it off the pedestal and carried on carving it, and then it was just lying around in my studio, and I thought, I'd really like to have a bed, and this will be the head. And somehow and then I liked the idea of making a big blanket, and I planned it. I drew loads of drawings that looked nothing like this, but I liked the idea of making a quilt with wood and collaging it together. And then I started reading a poem called Lie Still, Sleep Becalmed. And I really like the imagery. It's about sleeping and the sea and the movement of the sea, and I thought it was really beautiful. And then, so this piece started coming from the poem. And then I started reading about a bit more deeply. So I'm still making this because it took me quite a while. And I started reading more and more about Dylan Thomas. And this poem wasn't about him, and it wasn't really about sleep. It might be about his father, who was diagnosed with throat cancer. And that was quite a shock to me, because my mum had throat cancer when I was 16. And she was like one of the first people to survive it. And then she later on died of cancer. So I had all this imagery about my mum when she would have cancer, and she'd be lying down and she'd be told to rest, but then there was lots of things to do in the house, and that whole thing of not feeling calm. You know, he's asking his dad, calm down, stay still, don't struggle. And in a way, that is what we do when somebody's ill. We don't want them to struggle, we don't want them to hurt themselves more, but they're struggling against the pain as well. And in the poem, it talks about a wound in the throat, and it suddenly just, oh my God, this is it. And then I call it Sleep Becalmed.